At 19 years old, I had a nice physique that was lean and had some muscle. I'd looksmaxxed my face and looked as good as I possibly thought I could, but I still had no success with girls. Now, looking back 3 years later, it's clear as day what I was doing wrong. So if you're a guy who feels like you've been working out, putting in the work in different areas of your life, trying to improve, and you're still not having the success you want with girls, watch this video because it can save you years of suffering as it would have done for me if I watched this when I was younger. If there is one thing that I can pinpoint that stands out from everything else, it would be my lack of confidence when I was younger. Before 19, I had such low levels of confidence, of self-assuredness. I really didn't feel comfortable in social settings. I didn't feel like I was worthy of getting girls, even though I had the physique and I'd look max and I was a pretty good looking guy overall. I didn't feel worthy of it deep down. I just kind of had this empty void of who I was as a person. I didn't really have a real strong sense of myself or identity or anything along those lines. I was very just insecure, even though I still looked good. And this is going to be the number one area that's going to take away from your potential success is a lack of confidence. There is nothing that can make up for having a lack of confidence. No amount of money, no Gucci designer clothes, no Rolex watches. Nothing can make up for a lack of confidence, and nothing will be as valuable as having confidence because you can put me somewhere in the street now with no shirt, just some underwear, and I'll figure shit out, man. I will. See, confidence is just going to be one of those things that's going to do innumerable things for your life. It will make every single aspect of it better. You'll make friends with ease. You'll meet girls with ease. You're going to make more money. Life is just going to be better if you have confidence. And at 19, I took very specific steps to develop my confidence that started to allow me to now start talking to girls, to be able to deal with rejection without it ruining my sense of self, to start taking risks in this life and doing things that allowed me to build myself up as a man. So confidence was that one key thing. And this is why I built you boys a confidence transformation guide, giving you every single step that I took to develop my confidence at 19 that has made me into the man I am today. And you can pick that up for free. It's the first link in the description below. Now, this next one is one that my younger self and a lot of my coaching clients fall guilty for, and that is a lack of socializing. See, at 18, 19 years old, when I left high school, the only places that I'd really interact with girls was at cliff jumping spots in the summer. This was in New York. That's where I was living at the time. And that was really it. I mean, it was cliff jumping spots. Maybe my friends and I interacted with some girls on occasion. There was some mutual friends, stuff like that. But we were not consistently seeing girls, talking to them, socializing. We didn't really have that sort of social life. Our social life was just hanging with the boys, smoking weed, working out, things along those lines. That was one of the biggest issues that held me back from having success, was because I wasn't allowing myself to develop and get better at talking to girls. There would be times where there wasn't any girls I was talking to on Snap, on text, nothing. No girls at all. It was just me hanging out with my boys. So this is an area that my younger self and a lot of my coaching clients, when I first have that initial call with them, I'll ask them, where are you socializing on a regular basis? And they'll say nowhere. And I'll be like, how do you expect to meet girls? I mean, like, looking back, I'm like, fuck, like, this was so obvious. Like, all I needed to do was start putting myself in more social situations. But back then I didn't realize this, and I think, a lot of the coaching clients I start working with, they have the same exact issue where they're not able to get better with girls because they're never interacting with girls. And then when they do interact with girls on this inconsistent basis, it's this foreign thing for them. See, I remember one time my friend and I were outside of a bar. We didn't even get in, but we talked to some girls that a mutual friend knew. And this was like a big win for us. Isn't that crazy? That talking to some girls outside of a bar was a big win. Nothing happened. We just talked to them. And it was this big win because this girl was like kind of hot for our town. Compared to now, I mean, she's not anything special. But it was like this big win back then. See, now, let me tell you kind of how things go for me in terms of, depending on where I live, I'm socializing all of the time. See, in Florida, when I was there, it was a bigger city vibe, so I would go to an ice bath sauna community every single morning. There's just fit people, guys and girls, that I could talk to every single day. I would go to an ice bath community event. This was something separate where all these fit people, once again, just get together. You're able to meet friends and talk to girls there. I ended up making a great friend. I talked to a bunch of girls at the different events. I would go to this thing called Pitch a Friend. It's this new thing coming around in America where you pitch a friend and you pitch them to the crowd as like a potential partner. And there's just a bunch of single girls there. They have red and green bracelets that they give out to tell you if you can actually pursue this person or not. It makes everything so easy. Everyone's so easy to talk to there. There's so many things that you can do that will allow you to be socializing on a consistent basis. That's going to allow you to get better with girls. On top of that, there's the bars and clubs, which by the end of Florida of this past year, I started to go back out to. But I spent a lot of time sober this year doing these different activities, talking to girls sober, practicing in different ways that is just different than here in Scandinavia and Sweden and Norway. It's a very big party culture. That's kind of what everyone does. If you don't party, you're kind of weird. So it's very big on heavy drinking, and it's just a lot of fun. It's a different vibe. The people are a lot different. So my socializing now pretty much consists of Friday and Saturday going out and partying, and I absolutely love partying with the Scandinavians. It's one of the most fun things to do. So either way, no matter where I'm living, I'm always socializing on a consistent basis. And this is a key thing that's really going to make you able to start talking to girls. You don't even know. Maybe girls really do like you. You just don't put yourself out there and socialize at all. And it's going to lead to the next point, which we're going to tap into in a second here. And this last point is so simple, yet it changes everything. And this is just a lack of putting yourself out there and trying. You might be going to social events, but if you're not putting yourself out there, introducing yourself to girls, talking to them, trying, you might not have any success even though you are in a social setting. I've seen this so many times. I remember going to a couple of these different events, like the Pitch a Friend one specifically, that's designed to get people to talk to each other. And there were guys who would just sit at a table and they wouldn't talk to any girls. And I would be like, bro, are you going to talk to some girls? Or what are you doing here? And they were just like, nah, I'm kind of just hanging out. I'm comfortable here. I'm like, bro, lame. So you have to be putting yourself out there. And when I was younger, I remember making this big thing in my mind. I would overthink it. I'd be like, I don't know what to say. Don't know what to do. What if it's weird? What if I get rejected? Now I just kind of go and talk to every single girl with no expectations. Now it's not a big deal. All I do when I go out, especially here in Scandinavian parties, is I'm just going up to every single girl. This music festival this weekend, I talked to every single girl I found attractive. There was this during the day festival that wasn't part of the music thing. It was at this field. It's basically like baseball, the Swedish version. And there's just tons and tons of people there. And I was going around and talking to every single girl I found attractive. Some of them I knew before and I said hi to. Some of them I've slept with. Some of them who are brand new. I just wanted to talk to everybody and I had a bunch of fun socializing. You have to be putting yourself out there and trying. If you don't do this, you're not going to actually learn anything. You're not going to develop any skills when it comes to getting girls. You're just going to be a socially awkward weirdo like my younger self was. But now, after constantly putting myself out there and trying, not really having any expectations going into each interaction, I've just gotten really good and smooth and comfortable with girls. So this is that one key thing that really is going to make a difference. So just to summarize, you need to be socializing. You need to be trying and putting yourself out there. You can't fear rejection. And you need to develop confidence. Confidence is going to be that one key thing too that makes all the other steps so much easier, is if you have that true sense of confidence. So go ahead and pick up that guide where I'm going to give you all the steps that I took to develop my confidence when I was 19 that changed my life. You can grab that for free. It's the first link in the description below.